You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening live, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Clint Davis. We are on todayinfortsmith.com, and we are in Sallisaw right now for the Muldrow Bulldogs, the Lady Bulldogs, at the Sallisaw Black Diamonds, and we are about to tip off. We're having the starting lineups come out as we speak. We've got our starting ladies: Hannah Boyette, Madison Chambers, Cameron Johnson, Taylon Collins, and Paige Hughes is going to start again for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, and now we've got our starting lineup coming out for Sallisaw. And we want to say thank you to everyone who's listening live to us. We will have a lot more coming out throughout the night. Dennis McCaslin is over to my left. And we've got the Sallisaw Black Diamond Jazz Band up here next to us. Taylon Collins and number 3, Kaylee Bemo, getting ready for the tip-off. That is not a good matchup. 5'3" against 6'2". Or 6'1", rather. What is that?
Record.
Oh, the record, 6-12, 1-8 in the conference for the Lady Diamonds. The tip is won by the Muldrow Bulldogs, the Lady Bulldogs. Madison Chambers with the ball over to Paige Hughes. Paige over back to Madison. On the right side, Madison driving around to the top of the key, and a pass down low to Taylon Collins is no good. A little miscommunication there. And the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds will have the ball out of bounds. Bringing the ball up the floor. Having a little trouble hanging on to it. Bemo with the ball, top of the key. Trying to drive around. Mackenzie Beach can't seem to get anything to fall. She's got the ball back now on the left side. Pass over to the corner. And Bemo with the ball once again. Back up to the top of the key. Trying to drive left, trying to drive right. Nothing doing. Pass into the right corner. Back out to the top. And the Lady Diamonds with a drive. And a shot up under the basket is no good. But the foul is drawn. And number 12, Cadence Beach, will go to the line for 2 shots. First team foul for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs tonight. First shot is in and out. No good. Cadence Beach, number 12, getting set for her second free throw. Shot up is good. And the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds take the first lead of the ball game, 1-0. And here comes Hannah Boyette and the Lady Bulldogs over to Taylon Collins into the corner to Madison Chambers. There's a pass down low to Taylon Collins, and she can't hang on to that either. And that's turned over to Sallisaw. Bemo with the ball now. Lady Bulldogs trying to stay out of foul trouble here on this drive. And there is a jump ball. Hannah Boyette gets her hands in the mix. And the possession will stay with the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. Here's the ball inbound over to the right side. Top of the key, over to the left to Bemo. Shot for 3. Air ball. Rebound by Hannah Boyette. Madison Chambers on a fast break now. Puts up a shot, and that is absolutely no good. I don't know what these Lady Bulldogs are doing. She didn't get fouled. I think Madison thought she was going to get fouled, but she did not get the foul. And we've got a carry call on the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. So the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs will have the ball out of bounds. Paige Hughes passing the ball inbound to Hannah Boyette, bringing the ball up the floor for the Lady Bulldogs. Pass to the left, Cameron Johnson. Madison Chambers open for a 2-point shot, in and out. Rebound by Hannah Boyette. She goes back up for the shot, and that is good. The Lady Bulldogs take the lead, 2-1, and Hannah Boyette will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Hannah getting set for her first shot. It's up, and it's good. 3-1, 2-point lead here for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs over the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. Sallisaw with the ball out of bounds. And the pass inbound, broken up by Paige Hughes. Sallisaw with the recovery. And a pass down low and a shot up is no good. Cameron Johnson with the rebound. Lady Bulldogs bringing the ball back up the floor. Madison Chambers moving the ball. They're going to get her with a walk. And the Lady Bulldogs cannot seem to put anything together on their side of the floor. Lady Diamonds passing the ball in. Kaylee Bemo trying to move the ball up the floor. A lot of pressure from the Lady Bulldogs. She's in a corner. And a pass over to the right side. Nope, pass over to the left. And a drive. The shot up is good. That's number 32, Tate Stites with 2 points. And the score is tied 3-3. And we've got Madison Chambers out of the ball game. There's a pass over to Cameron Johnson. Chelsea Passage is in the ball game. Here's Cameron with a drive to the right, and she gets the ball taken away. That's 3 turnovers for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs in the first half of the first quarter. Pass over the top of the key to Kaylee Bemo. Kaylee looking for a place to go. Pass over to the right. Taylon Collins, heavy defense. Pass into the corner. Mackenzie Beach, nothing to do with the ball. Tate Stites with a shot from the high post, no good. Rebounded by Paige Hughes, and the Lady Bulldogs are going to bring the ball back up to the floor. Hannah Boyette on the right side. She's going to drive. There is a foul before the shot. Lady Bulldogs will have the ball out of bounds. That was a foul on Cadence Beach, number 12 for the Lady Diamonds. Here's the inbound pass from Passage to McCloria. Boy, she was open. Did not take the three-point shot. Cameron Johnson throws the ball smooth out of bounds. There's another turnover. 4 turnovers now for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs in the first quarter. And Sallisaw will have the ball out of bounds. Here's the pass inbound. Beach now with the ball, trying to find somewhere to go. Loses it. Tate Stites comes up with it. And we're going to have a jump ball in Sallisaw territory. That will be the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball. Madison Chambers back in the ball game. Pass inbound to Chelsea Passage. Paige Hughes back on the bench for the Lady Bulldogs. There's a shot up by Passage. That's no good. That's going to be rebounded by number 10, Brittany Barker. And Sallisaw looking to move the ball up the floor. Pass over to the right side, trying to drive. Cadence Beach, falls down in the process. Looks like we're going to get a timeout, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Hey, we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin here today in FortSmith.com. 3-3, a rather slow start for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. They've usually got about 12 points on the board in the first half of the first quarter, but they only have 3. Here's the inbound pass by Sallisaw now. Bemo looking to drive and put up a shot, and that gets blocked by Madison Chambers, and she knocks it out of bounds. And the Lady Diamonds will retain possession. And here's the inbound pass into the corner. 3-point shot is no good. Nothing but air, and that's rebounded by Hannah Boyette, and a pass off to Passage. And she loses the ball. Madison Chambers comes up with it. Here's Hannah Boyette for 3. That's no good. Sallisaw Lady Diamonds with the rebound. Bemo looking to bring the ball up the floor. These Lady Bulldogs are going to have to pull something out here. They cannot start every ball game like this. It's getting too late in the season for that. There's a foul on Hannah Boyette. She knocked Cadence Beach to the floor. Cadence is having a little trouble getting up. And Hannah Boyette says, welcome to the show. Here comes the inbound pass from Bemo. And a shot for 3 by Bemo is no good. Rebounded by Chelsea Passage. And a pass up to Taylon Collins. Off the glass for 2 points, and the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs regain the lead 5-3 now. BMO bringing the ball up the floor, and that ball gets taken away by Taylon Collins. She puts up a shot up off the glass, no good, but she does draw the foul. Taylon Collins will go to the line for 2 free throws. First shot up is good, 6-3 now. Second shot by Taylon Collins is up and good, 7-3. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a 4-point lead. 2:35 left in this first quarter. BMO trying to bring the ball up the floor, and she loses the ball. Taylon Collins comes away with it, puts a shot up off the glass, no good, but she does draw another foul, and she will go back to the free throw line. And Taylon Collins' first shot up it's good. 8-3 now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a lead. And a second shot up is good. 9-3. 6-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And BMO is having a hard time anywhere with the ball. So we're going to have a foul on the floor. Taylon Collins. That should just be her first foul of the ball game. So here comes the inbound pass again from Sallisaw. Bringing the ball up the floor is Kaylee BMO. Looking for a place to go and passes it up. There's a little backcourt violation by number 12, Cadence Beach. So the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs will have the ball back. And Mandy's listening up in the Buffalo, New York area. Mandy, thanks for tuning into the broadcast. We appreciate you. It's good to have the Yankees on board with us. Here is Hannah Boyette with a drive down the middle and a shot up. That's no good, but Hannah Boyette draws the foul. And she's going to the line for 2 shots. Everybody getting set, putting their places for a couple of free throws. Hannah Boyette, first shot, no good. I love you too, Mandy. Hannah Boyette getting second free throw opportunity here. Shot up, and that is good. 10-3 now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead by 7 over the over the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. And the pass from Sallisaw in, heavy full court pressure here from Muldrow. BMO moving the ball up the floor. And a shot up by Tate Stites under the basket is good. Sallisaw closing the gap. Muldrow with a 5-point, 10-5 lead now. Chelsea Passage looking for a place to go with the basketball, and she's going to move around and dribble back up to the top of the key and a pass over to Hannah Boyette on the right side. Hannah looking to drive, and she's going to put up a shot. That's good off the glass for 2 points. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 12-5. And there is a pass by Sallisaw all the way out of bounds. Muldrow will have the ball back. And we've got a timeout on the floor. We're going to take it with them. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Hey, we're going to bring you back in. Timeout's over with. Chelsea Passage bringing the ball up the floor for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Pass into Taylon Collins. And we're going to have a foul over the back. Cammie Riggs is going to do a little reaching. And that will be the 5th team foul on Sallisaw. 2 more, and Muldrow will be in a 1-and-1 bonus situation. Inbound pass to Hannah Boyette for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Kaylee BMO, and full court pressure here from from Muldrow. That's out of bounds. Last touched by Muldrow. Sallisaw ball. Inbound pass to BMO. She's going to try to bring the ball up the floor. 55 seconds left in this quarter. This has been the longest first quarter I think we've seen all season. Here's a pass over to BMO for 3. That's good. And the Lady Bulldogs are up 12-8 now. 38 seconds left. Here's Hannah Boyette over on the right side. Pass back to the top of the key. Chelsea Passage going to hang on to the ball as long as she can. Half a minute left in this first quarter. Drive over to the right and another pull back out. Number 11, Caitlin Clifton in the ball game for Sallisaw. And she realized what a pick set from Taylon Collins looked like. 14 seconds left. Taylon Collins with the ball now. And she's going to drive in and kick it back out to Hannah Boyette. Fadeaway jumper, and that's no good. And the ball is out of bounds. Last touch by Sallisaw. That will be Muldrow basketball. With a tenth of a second left, we're going to see if the Lady Bulldogs can get off a shot. This is going to be some Reggie Miller stuff from the Pacers of the 90s. Here's the inbound pass to Collins with a put-up, and that's no good. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 12-8. We're going to take a 60-second timeout, and we will be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin here, ready for second quarter action. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs up 12-8. A fresh 8 minutes on the clock. Chad Mays, if you're listening, sir, I just put that link up. Hopefully you saw that link. And we can get you in to listen live. And one of the Beach sisters with the ball now and a drive in, and she loses it. Madison Chambers comes up with the ball. Lady Bulldogs back on their side of the floor. Pass down low to Taylon Collins, and she goes up off the glass. Good for 2 points. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up 14-8. And that's Ocho for those of you who hablo Espanol. Steal by Taylon Collins. Fast break down the floor. A kiss off the glass. Good for 2 more points. 16-8 now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have doubled up on the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds, and Muldrow in this second quarter starting to look like the Lady Bulldogs we know. But there is Chelsea Passage with a foul. Sallisaw with the ball out of bounds. Inbound pass by Bemo. Over to number 5, Mackenzie Beach. And Mackenzie is going to dribble around to the right side. Pass back to Bemo, top of the key. She wants to pull the trigger. There's a pass down to Tate Stites, and she's going to drive and put a pass up. And we're going to have a jump ball, and that's going to be Muldrow basketball. I don't think the fans like that, but we really don't care much. Here's the inbound pass. Chelsea Passage bringing the ball up the floor for the Lady Bulldogs. And over to the left to Hannah Boyette, who goes up for 2, and that's good. 18-8 now, 10-point lead. This is starting to look like Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball. Sallisaw bringing the ball back down the floor. Pass over to the right. Back to the top of the key to Bemo. Down to Tate Stites with a 15-foot jumper. No good. Rebounded by Madison Chambers. And here come the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And a shot up is no good by Chambers. We're going to have the ball out of bounds by Sallisaw. Muldrow will retain possession. And we've got a timeout on the floor. We're going to take another break with them. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring you back in after the timeout. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin here. And I'm being told that our link, nope, we're live. We're on the air, folks. I'm getting some feedback. It says that we are off the air, and we are not off the air. We are on. So if we can get people to click that new link, we'll be okay. We're going to have the ball out of bounds here by Sallisaw. 18-8, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the lead. 6:15 left in the second quarter. Got a little Bon Jovi on the overhead. And here comes the inbound pass from Passage over to Hannah Boyette. Hannah loses the ball. Bemo comes up with it. And a little pass out to Brittany Barker. She's going to move the floor and give it off to BMO. Barker with the ball again. Back to Beach, top of the key. BMO top of the key, pass down low. And a shot up off the glass is no good. Last touch by Muldrow out of bounds. And that was Cammie Riggs, number 14, 5'7" sophomore forward, who put up that shot no good. Sallisaw with the inbound pass. And I don't know what in the world just happened, but the Lady Bulldogs have the ball back. Taylon Collins off the Chelsea Passage. Shot off the glass is good for 2. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up 20-8. 5:35 left in the half. Here's a pass back to the top of the key, and it goes all the way out of bounds. And it hits the broadcast equipment for the mix. Oh, well. Taylon Collins going to check out of the ball game. Passage, Boyette, Chambers, Cameron Johnson, and Paige Hughes back in the game now for the Lady Bulldogs. Passage, top of the key, looking to drive. And she goes all the way in and puts up a shot. No good. Sallisaw with the rebound, pushing the ball back up the floor is BMO. Back to BMO, shot for 3. That's good. Kaylee BMO puts a fresh 3 points on the board and cuts the Muldrow lead to 9. 20-11, Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up. Just under 5 minutes left. Cameron Johnson with a shot down low off the glass. That's good for 2. 22-11. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are doubled up on Sallisaw. Here's BMO with the ball on Sallisaw's side of the floor. Pass over to the right side. Mackenzie Beach looking for somewhere to go and pass back to the top of the key to Cadence Beach. Shot for 3 by BMO is no good. Rebounded by Madison Chambers. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have possession once again, moving the ball up the floor is Madison. And she's going to drive it all the way in and put up a shot off the glass. That is good. And she's going to draw the foul. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 24-11. And Madison Chambers, chance for a 3-point play. She will have an opportunity at 1 free throw. Taylon Collins coming back into the game for Chelsea Passage. Shot up by Madison Chambers, no good. If she would have stayed in her spot, she would have had her own rebound. Sallisaw with the ball back on the other side of the floor. Top of the key is Tate Stites. She goes up for a shot, gets stripped. Taylon Collins now had somewhat of a fast break, had to pull the ball back, pass down low to Cameron Johnson. A shot is up and no good by Cameron, but she does draw a foul. She will go to the free throw line for a chance at 2 free throws. And the first shot up by Cameron is no good. So she will get set for a second free throw. Second shot by Cameron Johnson is good. 25-11, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a commanding lead over the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. BMO with a pass up the floor. Knocked loose by Paige Hughes. That goes out of bounds, last touched by Muldrow. And BMO with the ball, top of the key. Back to Beach on the right side. Pass knocked away by Taylon Collins. Sallisaw recovers. Drive over to the right side. And we're going to have a travel on Sallisaw. Madison Chambers inbound pass over to Hannah Boyette. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs pushing the ball down the floor, looking for a place to go. Taylon Collins with the ball, top of the key over to Cameron Johnson. Back to Madison Chambers. Boo! She wanted to pull the trigger on a 3, and she did not. And they call her for a travel. That's going to be Sallisaw ball out of bounds. And hopefully we've got everybody listening live. We have several people on the website on todayinfortsmith.com/Muldrow Bulldogs, and then we have our Mixler link. Here's a shot for 3 by one of the Beach sisters, and that's no good. Madison Chambers with the rebound, pass over to Hannah Boyette on the right side, moving the ball up the floor. Hannah pass down low to Taylon Collins, out to Cameron Johnson. Shot for 2 is good. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up 27-11 with 2:53 left in this first half. Here's a pass over to the top of the key. Kaylee BMO with the ball for the Lady Diamonds. Pass back over to the left and down low. Mia Maxwell is in the ball game. There's a shot up, stripped away by Cameron Johnson. Hannah Boyette with the ball, moving it up the floor now. To pass down to Madison Chambers and back out to Paige Hughes. Over to Hannah Boyette. 3-ball is good. Hannah drains one. That's her first 3-point shot made of the ball game. 30-11 now, 2:20 left in the first half. A Beach over to BMO. Sallisaw looking for a place to go with this basketball. There's a short drive, and we've got a foul down low. Hannah Boyette is going to get whistled with that foul. And we are going to have number 14, Cammie Riggs, going to the line for, nope, they're going to call that out of bounds. That was before the shot. BMO will pass inbound. Beach. And Beach over on the left side. Back out to number 12, Cadence Beach. Back down to Mackenzie Beach. Over to the right side now. And a shot up is no good. That was by number 14, Cammie Riggs. Taylon Collins, number 14 for the Lady Bulldogs, has the ball now, and she takes it coast to coast. Shot off the glass is good for 2 points. The Lady Bulldogs are up 32-11. 1:36 left in the first half. Pass down low to Mia Maxwell. She is a 6'1" freshman center for Sallisaw. Paige Hughes with a knocked away ball on a fast break. She puts up a shot, good for 2. And the Lady Bulldogs are up 34-11 with 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this second quarter. Pass over to the right side. Number 12, Cadence Beach with the ball. Back over to Mackenzie Beach. Top of the key. She's going to lose the ball, but she regains it, throws it away over to BMO. Cammie Riggs back to BMO. Just about took an NBA three and pulled in. Puts up a shot from the high post, and that's good for 2. She gets fouled on the way. 34-13, the Lady Bulldogs lead, and we will have Kaylee BMO at the line for 1 free throw. Shot is up and no good. No Bulldogs there to rebound. Sallisaw with their own rebound off that free throw and a chance for 2 more points at least. BMO with the ball top of the key, and she throws it away to Cameron Johnson. Cameron's going to move the ball up the floor for the Lady Bulldogs over to Alicia McCloria. Back at the top of the key. McCloria behind the back, looking for a place to go. And we're going to have a violation by McCloria. Number 10, Brianna Dawes checking into the ball game for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And McCloria is back on the bench. BMO with the ball now over to Beach. Back to BMO. 3-point shot. No good. And that is going to be an in-back. Well, threw it back inbounds. And Tate Stites has the ball. She puts up a shot down low. And that's good for 2 for Sallisaw. Paige Hughes over to, nope, McCloria's still in the game. She's hiding. There's a shot up by McCloria. No good before the half ends, and we're going to end the first half 34-15 is your score. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are all over the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from some sponsors, and we will be right back for halftime stats. Tonight's halftime stats are brought to you by Boyette Farms in Muldrow. Hey, we're going to bring in live Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin here today in FortSmith.com. We've got a 34-15 lead by the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs at halftime, and they're throwing balls at each other on the court. Don't know what that's all about. Don't even want to ask. Dennis, what do we have for halftime stats?
Slow start by the Lady Bulldogs, but once they got going, they were able to really put it to these Lady Black Diamonds. Leading the way for Sallisaw in the first half was BMO with 8 points. Stites finished with 6, and Beach had 1 free throw, and that's all the scoring for the Lady Black Diamonds in the first quarter. We had 2 players in double figures for the Lady Bulldogs. That would have been Taylon Collins, finished with 12 points. Hannah Boyette, that 3-pointer she hit late in the second quarter, gave her 11 points for the first half. 5 points from Cameron Johnson. 2 points each from Hughes, Passage, and Chambers. And that's all the scoring, 34. That's your halftime score, 34-15. Just an outstanding job of cutting loose once they were able to get away from that little slow start they had going there. Looks to be another big win tonight for the Sallisaw for the Muldrow girls against the Sallisaw team.
Yeah, I didn't know what we were doing at first down low for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs on our side of the floor. Just too many turnovers to start the game. We had 4 or 5 there to begin things. Bad passes, bad shots, ball thrown away, too many crazy fouls. But they were able to pull out of that. As soon as the second quarter hit, they were able to put up some really good points. And so I think they're going to pull out.
We've seen a couple of these slow starts the last few games, but they always seem to kind of come out of their doldrums about midway through the second quarter. And they did a really good job of getting the ball down the floor and finding the open player. And I was really impressed one time because Taylon Collins had a fast break, and she could have went up for the shot. Passage was trailing her, so she turned around and with an assist to Passage with an easy layup. And that's team play, and that's what these girls got to have as we get into this district, area, regional stuff as we head down the stretch here.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we have come to the conclusion that we're going to be able to cover Roland and Muldrow basketball during the not the district, because everybody's at home for the district, at least Roland and Muldrow are. But we're going to be covering Roland and Muldrow for the regional, area, and state tournaments if we all make it there. And we have brought a new sponsor on board, the McDonald family, Aaron and his family over at the Roland Chicken Store. They signed up today. We've got a few people left that we need to get some deals finalized with, and we'll make that happen. But we will have Bulldog and Ranger basketball on todayinfortsmith.com for the playoffs.
Absolutely. We talked about this earlier today. We even talked about if everything works out, we may even end up doing the Roland District game if we can get it all worked out. That's a situation where Clint and I have to split up, but the two schools are 5 miles away from each other.
Now we can make it happen.
So we can make it happen, but we need to pick up a few more sponsors. I know that we've had some help during the football season from some really fine Roland sponsors. I'm going to go back and see them on Monday, see if we can get some of those folks convinced to help us out with this broadcast through the rest of the season here. And we will bring all the district, area, regional, and state games for each of these teams. The cool thing is, once we get past this first round in district, the teams will play in the same place.
Yeah, we're going to be in the same location.
So we're going to be there anyway, so we might as well broadcast the games.
Yeah, Shakota for regional, Beggs for area, Oklahoma City for state. We're going to take another break. 34-15 is your halftime score. Got about 3.5 minutes left. We're going to hear from all of our sponsors once again, and Dennis and I will be right back on todayinfortsmith.com for second half action with the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs and the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Hey, we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis, Dennis McCaslin getting ready for second half action, todayinfortsmith.com. Another sponsor we wanted to bring up on the way is Pier 1 Photography and Designs. They made these nice, cushy sweatshirts. I've got one of these on right now, and I love it to death. Pier 1 Photography and Designs in the River Valley. They do newborn and family photo shoots, T-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, hand-painted wood signs, and anything you need personalized. Give Tammy and Amy a call at 479-461-3747 or find them on Facebook by typing in Pier 1 Photography and Design. There's our whistle. Kaylee Bemo with the inbound pass over to Beach. Back over to Bemo. Second half action has begun. Sallisaw Lady Black Diamonds with the ball. There's a drive and a pass back out to Beach. Shot for three. That's good off the glass. 34-18, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have the lead. Sallisaw has begun the second half with a big three-point shot. And there is a pass down low. Cameron Johnson has the ball, and there's a shot up, no good. She gets her own rebound, goes up for two, and that's good. Off the glass. Cameron Johnson with another 2 points. Beach bringing the ball up the floor for Sallisaw. Pass over to the left. And we've got a foul on the floor on the shot. Number 5, Mackenzie Beach, will be going to the line for 2 shots here, 2 free throws. And that foul is on Hannah Boyette, her 3rd of the ball game. She is headed closer to foul trouble. First shot by Beach is good. Second shot no good, rebounded by Cameron Johnson. Hannah Boyette with the basketball, moving the ball up the floor for the Lady Bulldogs. Pass down low, back out to Paige Hughes for 3, and that's no good. Taylon Collins with the rebound. She's going to go back up for a hook shot, and that is good. 38-19. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs all over the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds, and the coal pit over on the opposite side of the floor is quiet. There's a pass down low. Hannah Boyette kicks the ball. Muldrow will keep it. Sallisaw will keep it. BMO out of bounds, and she is going to throw the ball in to Riggs. Back over to Beach. Back to the other Beach. Back to BMO. 3-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Beach. And a shot up by Cammie Riggs is good for 2. These Lady Bulldogs, they're not boxing out down low. That's what I've noticed about these rebounds. They're not boxing out. Taylon Collins goes up for a shot. That's no good. Taylon's first shot up is no good. Second free throw is up, and that is good. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs 39-21 now. Sallisaw Lady Black Diamonds bringing the ball up the floor. We're going to get a foul on Paige Hughes over on the opposite side of the floor. A blocking foul. That is going to be her 2nd foul of the evening. BMO with the inbound pass. Over to Tate Stites. BMO with the ball again over on the right side to Beach. She loses the ball, gives it back up to Stites. Beach back to BMO. Back to Mackenzie Beach. Pass back over to BMO. Down to Beach. Shot for 3, no good. And that ball is going to get knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Muldrow. And that is about the 15,000th time Cadence Beach has gone to the floor in this ball game. It seems like every time she gets touched, she goes straight to the floor. Here's going to be the inbound pass. BMO with the ball and pass back over to Mackenzie Beach. She drives, gives it back to BMO for a 3-point shot, no good. Stites with the rebound, puts up a shot under the basket, no good. Cameron Johnson with the rebound. And Cameron, they're going to call her out of bounds even though she got fouled by at least 3 people. That's okay. Lady Diamonds with the ball out of bounds, inbound pass to Stites. Pass back over to Barker and back to Beach at the top of the key. BMO with the ball now, back over to Beach, back to BMO. Back to Barker, top of the key. Beach on the left side. And we're going to have a little okey-doke here on the floor. A little tie-up. That's going to be Muldrow basketball. Cameron Johnson inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. Hannah's bringing the ball up the floor. Lady Bulldogs with a 39-21 lead. Hannah trying to get around. Pick set by Taylon Collins, and they're going to call a foul on Taylon Collins. I mean, she was straight up and down with a pick, but they'll go ahead and whistle her with a foul anyway. Sallisaw Lady Diamonds with the ball out of bounds. Inbound pass to BMO. She's going to bring the ball up the floor. They're on our left side now for the second half. 4:30 left in the third quarter. Barker with the ball on the right side. And she's going to drive and throw the ball away. And that's going to be last touched by Madison Chambers. Out of bounds by the Lady Bulldogs. And Sallisaw will have the ball back. Chelsea Passage coming into the game for Paige Hughes. And the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds looking to inbound the pass here. Over to Beach. Back over to Barker, top of the key. Back to Beach on the right side. Beach back to BMO on the right. Skip pass over to Barker. Kemi Riggs with the ball in the corner. Pass back over to the left. And down low to nobody, and that ball goes out of bounds. And that was not touched by Muldrow, but they called that off of a Muldrow player. But we're in Sallisaw, so we can pretty much expect that. Here's Barker down to BMO for three. No good. And a rebound by Barker. And she's going to get fouled by Hannah Boyette, who commits her fourth foul of the ball game. Nope, they're going to call a walk before Hannah gets that foul. And that's good because Hannah was about to be in some big foul trouble. And Passage bringing the ball up the floor now. Hannah Boyette, open lane, shot, no good. Sallisaw with the rebound, pushing the ball up the floor is BMO. She gives it off to Beach, who can't do anything with it. Beach goes to the floor again. Taylon Collins on a fast break, up off the glass, good for two. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs 41, Sallisaw Lady Diamonds 21. 3:20 left in the third quarter. Pass over to the right. Barker with the ball now for Sallisaw. Beach back to Barker for three. That's good. That's what happens when you leave them wide open on the three-point line. They're going to hit shots all day. These Lady Bulldogs saw that with Stillwell. Now they're seeing it again with Sallisaw. Here's a shot up by Passage, no good. Rebound by Sallisaw. And the Lady Diamonds are going to bring the ball back down to their side of the floor. Tate Stites with a shot. No good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette. Hannah bringing the ball up the floor for the Lady Bulldogs, slowing things down a little bit. Passage coming out to help. Down into the corner to Madison Chambers, down low. Oh, down low again. Cameron Johnson with a shot up for two. Taylon Collins with the assist. 43-24, Muldrow Lady Bulldogs heavily in favor in this ball game. There's Barker on the Sallisaw side of the floor. Ball almost knocked away. Shot for three by Beach. That's good. They left one on the three-point line open again. And she hits one. And we're going to have Sallisaw out of bounds here. We've got a lot of substitutions going on. And we're going to see McCloria come into the ball game for the Lady Bulldogs. Passage into McCloria. Cameron Johnson, Hannah Boyette, and Madison Chambers round out the Lady Bulldogs lineup. Currently on the floor, Passage bringing the ball up. Pass over to the left to Hannah Boyette with a fake and a drive, and she goes up for two, and that's no good. But she does draw the foul. She will go to the free throw line. Hannah Boyette, free throw line, opportunity for 2 points for the Lady Bulldogs. First shot up is good. And we're going to see Caitlin Clifton come back into the ball game for the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. Tate Stites is going to have a seat. Second shot by Hannah Boyette. That's good. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs up 45-27 over the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds. BMO bringing the ball up the floor for Sallisaw, off to Mackenzie Beach back into the game. Clifton with the ball. And she gets rid of it back to BMO, back over to Beach. Beach looking like she's playing with a broke hand. BMO down to Mia Maxwell. And we're going to have a travel. Lady Bulldogs will retain possession. Maddie Reeves checking into the ball game for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Inbound pass from Madison Chambers to Chelsea Passage. Chelsea's bringing the ball up the floor. And there's a shot up. That's no good by Passage. And we're going to have a foul over the back. Maddie Reeves is going to get called for her first foul of the ball game. It's hard not to reach that arm up when you're 6'2". Sallisaw bringing the ball back down to their side of the floor. BMO looking for a place to go. Passage with the defense. Pass down low to Maxwell, and that's going to be a foul. That's going to be Hannah's fourth, and I bet she comes out of the ball game. Here comes Taylon Collins in, and Hannah Boyette to the bench. Hannah looking like she got all ball on that, but you never know. I didn't have the right angle. Mia Maxwell, free throw line, first shot up. That's no good. And here comes Taylon Collins in, Hannah Boyette out. Hannah's got 4, and she's going to save the rest of her gas for the fourth quarter. Less than a minute, 58 seconds left. Second free throw from Maxwell, no good. Rebounded by Chelsea Passage. Chelsea bringing the ball up the floor in no hurry for the Lady Bulldogs. And we're going to get a foul on number 11, Caitlin Clifton for Sallisaw. That is going to be her first of the ball game. Inbound pass to Passage from McCloria, 40 seconds left on the clock in the third quarter. Passage bringing the ball up. Boy, she had a lane to drive in, and she pulled back out. Now she's going to drive. Now she's going to pull back out again. She's going to get fouled by Caitlin Clifton, who seems to not know that you cannot throw an arm at somebody. That's going to be the fourth team foul on Sallisaw. Loose ball now. Clifton comes up with it. She's on a fast break with a pass down into the arms of Taylon Collins, and Taylon loses it. We're going to have a jump ball. That's going to be Muldrow basketball. I'm sorry, Sallisaw basketball. 22 seconds left now in the third quarter. Clifton with the ball on the other side of the floor, and she is going to bring it past half court. Pass down to Bemo, wide open at the three-point line, and she drains another one. I don't know when the Lady Bulldogs are going to stop leaving people open on the three-point line, but if this were the district, regional, or area tournaments, they would be in a lot of trouble. Here is McClory with a shot. No good. Rebound by Maddie Reeves. That's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. 45-30. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up by 15. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Hey, we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis here. Dennis McCaslin is over to my left. Chelsea Passage with the basketball. Sallisaw looking to double team now. Madison Chambers down to Maddie Reeves. Maddie loses the ball, but she does get fouled in the process. So that will be the fifth team foul on Sallisaw. Two more. We got a bonus. Passage going to pass the ball inbound now, and she throws it away. Sallisaw on a fast break. Beach going to put up a shot. No good. Bemo with the ball now. Don't leave her open. She'll nail one. There's a pass down low to Cammie Riggs. That ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Muldrow. Sallisaw will retain possession. Bemo with the inbound pass. I don't know why she's taking the ball out. They need to throw it into her because she's hitting shots. Bemo with the ball again over on the left side. Pass over to the top of the key to Mackenzie Beach. Back to Bemo. Down low to Cammie Riggs. Back out to Bemo at the three-point line. She was not open. Now she is open. Three-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Lady Bulldogs bringing the ball back up the floor on their side. And Taylon Collins takes it all the way to the house. Shot no good. And Maddie Reeves with the rebound. She goes up for a shot and gets fouled on the way. That shot's no good as well. Still a 15-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, 45-30. Maddie Reeves with a chance to put some points up on the board. First free throw, no good. And for those of you listening who are not from around here, like Mandy up in the Buffalo, New York area, Maddie Reeves at the free throw line. She is the daughter of Bryant Reeves, big country from Gans, Oklahoma, who played with the Vancouver Grizzlies in the NBA. And now he has settled right back in here in this area. Both the younger kids go to school and play basketball here for Muldrow. We'll see the next one, Trevor, coming up here in just a minute. And he also has one son playing ball at Oklahoma State right now. Bemo with the ball, bringing it up the floor for Sallisaw. Tate Stites knocking it back up to Beach, and Beach is going to throw it away. That's going to be Muldrow Lady Bulldogs ball. 6:51 on the clock for the Lady Bulldogs. Passage bringing the ball up the floor. And there's a pass to Cameron Johnson. She's open and takes it. That's no good. Rebounded by Sallisaw. Bemo bringing the ball up the floor. And she's wanting to pull the trigger no matter where she is. Stites with the ball now with a drive down the middle. No good. Madison Chambers with the ball. Pass back to Cameron Johnson and back to Madison Chambers, bringing it up the flow. Madison over to Cameron Johnson. Boo! She was open for three. Did not take it. Pass over to Passage now. Passage with an open lane. She drives. Puts up a shot. Off the backboard. Good for two. Lady Bulldogs up 48-30. 5:53 left in the ball game. Bemo over to Beach. Beach over to Riggs. Back to Barker on the right side. Back to Beach on the left. Back to BMO, three-point line, back over to Cammie Riggs. Skip pass, stolen by Taylon Collins on a fast break. Up off the glass, good for 2 points. Lady Bulldogs regain that 20-point lead, 50-30 now, 5:24 left in this ball game. BMO with a drive. She puts up a shot off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Madison Chambers. And Madison able to pull that one out. Driving down the floor. She's going to take it all the way to the hoop. Shot's no good. Rebounded by Sallisaw. Got a little static going on up here. There's a shot down low by Barker. No good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins on a fast break. She goes up for a shot. That is good off the glass. We're going to have a timeout. Sallisaw 52-30. Muldrow leads. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Hey, we're going to bring you live back into the broadcast, 52-30. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a big lead. Man, we're going to have a little Black Betty on the overhead. I guess that was a full 1 minute timeout. I don't know what's going on. There's a buzzer. We're going to have the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. They're going to give up their little huddle down low. We see Chaylin Mays. She is sitting out for one more game. Hopefully this will be the last after the little tussle we had with the Roland Lady Rangers. Sallisaw coming back out of the timeout on their side of the floor. Coming back down to the Muldrow side, and they're going to take the ball out. Caitlin Clifton is going to pass the ball inbound to BMO. And BMO moving the ball up the floor for Sallisaw. Back over to Clifton. Top of the key over to Beach. Down to BMO. Open for three, but she drives. Shot up no good. Rebounded by Sallisaw, Mia Maxwell. And Paige Hughes comes away with the loose ball. Ooh, little ankle breaker for BMO there. Paige Hughes gets the ball off to Chelsea Passage. Chelsea's going to drive. Wide open lane. She puts up a shot, gets fouled down low. That will be the 7th team foul on Muldrow, but it will not be a 1-and-1. Chelsea Passage going to the line for 2 shots, and her first shot is up and good. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a commanding lead here. There's another point on the board. Chelsea Passage goes good for 2 from the line. BMO bringing the ball up the floor for Sallisaw. 54-30. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are ahead. This one's about over. Clifton with the ball over to BMO. Down low to Mia Maxwell. Back to BMO. Open at the three-point line. That's good again. If these Lady Bulldogs let people shoot like this in the postseason, things will not turn out well. Got to get on these open three-point shooters. Got to close the gaps on defense. Better communication will do that. Here is Cameron Johnson for 3. That's no good. And there's Cammie Riggs. She's on a fast break. She puts up another shot. 5 unanswered points there for Sallisaw. The Lady Bulldogs looking to do something. Passage is going to travel. There's another turnover. 54-35. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have the lead. We're going to see Jenkins come into the ball game. Eric is in now. Maddie Reeves coming back in. Brianna Dawes in the ball game with McCloria and Passage for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. 3.5 minutes to go in this one. And I don't know if we'll see Hannah Boyette come back into this one to pick up a 5th foul or not. Here is almost a steal. There's a jump ball. McCloria with some good defense. 3:11 left on the clock in the ball game. Cutting it short. Mia Maxwell with the ball over to Clifton. BMO trying to get open so she can bust another 3. She's open. But she's going to drive a little bit. Almost too many steps taken there, but they did not call that. BMO with the ball again. Down low to Maxwell, and we're going to have a foul on the floor by Erica Jenkins. That's going to be 6 team fouls for the Lady Bulldogs. Becca Kleinlein in the ball game. Steal by Chelsea Passage on a fast break. Passage goes up for a shot. That is no good. Cadence Beach with the foul. Chelsea Passage going to the line for 2 shots. Shot up. First one is good. Back to a 20-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Another shot is up, and that is good for Chelsea Passage as well. 56-35, 2:45 left in this ball game. I think Dennis has set the record for yawns in one basketball game. We're going to have him coming up next with the Muldrow Bulldogs. The boys team is going to play the Sallisaw Black Diamonds. BMO with the ball. Back out to Barker over on the right side to Beach. Beach with a shot up. That's no good. Rebounded by Erica Jenkins, and she loses it. And Mia Maxwell goes up and gets fouled. The shot is no good. And we are going to have Mia Maxwell at the line. And that's the man we were just talking about, Aaron McDonald, the owner of the Roland Chicken Store. He's joining us live. He's handing a check to Dennis McCaslin, and he's on board for the postseason tournaments for Muldrow and Roland basketball. We just talked about that at halftime. And Aaron is up here dressed out in pink, just like they are in Sallisaw tonight for breast cancer awareness. And this old mean guy next to me just told Aaron to have a seat. And there's a shot up by Jenkins, no good. She's going to go to the line. So it is going to be great to have Aaron and the McDonald family with the Roland Chicken Store on board, the newest sponsors with Today in Fort Smith, to bring you all the playoffs. Shot up by Erica Jenkins is good, 57-36. Another shot up, no good by Erica Jenkins. And we've got Beach with the rebound. She's charging down the floor, favoring that left hand again. Now she's going to dribble with it and give it off. There's BMO open at the three-point line again. Shot no good. Rebounded by Becca Kleinlein. Her shot is no good, and Maddie Reeves is going to knock that ball out of bounds. Sallisaw will keep the ball. Hey, there's number 11, Megan Powell, coming into the ball game for the Lady Rangers. I knew we would see her at some point. 1:55 left in the ball game. Barker with the ball. Pass over to BMO. Open for three. Nails it again. That's got to be 18 points for her from the three-point line. Here is a walk by Brianna Dawes. And another turnover for the Lady Bulldogs. That seems to be the theme tonight. And they have got to tighten up with their possessions. And here is Mackenzie Beach bringing the ball up the floor over to Clifton. Back over to Beach. Back over to Clifton. Back to Beach. Over to Barker, who takes a shot for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Erica Jenkins. And she turns and runs up the floor like a bulldozer and then throws the ball away. Barker with the ball, pushing down the floor, and she's going to go up for a shot, get fouled by Brianna Dawes. Smart foul. And we're going to have a two-shot situation from the free throw line. First shot is up, and that's no good. So Barker going to take her second shot momentarily. Second shot is no good. Rebounded by nobody. Rebounded by Sallisaw. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Sallisaw again. Clifton with the ball. And she's going to lose it down low. And we are going to get a jump ball, even though we had Brindley McDaniel. She slid into third base with that basketball. They didn't call her for a travel. But we do have Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the possession. Brianna Dawes bringing the ball up the floor for Muldrow. 50 seconds left on the clock, 57-39. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead this ball game. Megan Powell with a dribble over to the right. And she's going to get tripped up and go to the floor. And that will be a 1-and-1 situation for Megan Powell. She will be at the free throw line. So Megan getting set for her first shot. That's up and no good. Rebounded by Sallisaw. Well, never mind. That was a two-shot situation. We have 10 fouls. So we are in a double bonus. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, 2 shots from the free throw line. Second shot by Megan Powell is good. Megan's on the board with a point. Inbound pass to Beach, the McKenzie type. She's bringing the ball up the floor over to Barker. Back over to Mackenzie Beach. And a pass down low to Becca Kleinlein with a shot up. And that's good for 2. 58-41. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs on top. 20 seconds left in this ball game. Brianna Dawes going to hang on to the ball for a little bit. And she's going to lose it. Sallisaw with the ball again. Pass over to Clifton, and she is going to take a step. and give it off. There's a shot by Barker for three. That's no good. Rebounded by nobody. That's going to be the end of the ball game. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs win this one 58-41 and have put another win in the books. I believe that's their 20th win of the season, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to check our stats. Speaking of stats, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with end of the game stats, and then we'll probably hear from some more sponsors, and then Dennis will be live with the boys. About 60 seconds. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by TodayInFortSmith.com. Hey, we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with TodayInFortSmith.com after the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs beat the Sallisaw Lady Diamonds 58-41. I'm going to have to write that down. I don't even think I've got a pen with me, but we'll get that written down so we can get it on Max Preps. And we are going to talk into the game stats. Dennis, what do we have on the board?
Well, I guess that's kind of a moral victory for the Sallisaw girls since they held Muldrow under 60 points. That doesn't happen very often, that the Muldrow team doesn't score 60 points. And also in that third quarter, Sallisaw actually outscored Muldrow. That doesn't happen very often either. So BMO had an outstanding night for the Sallisaw Lady Black Diamonds. She finished with 17 points on 5 3-pointers and a regular bucket. She was the only player in double figures for the Sallisaw girls. Beach finished with 7. Stites had 6, 5 points for Riggs, 3 points, check that, for Barker, 2 points for McDaniel, and that's all the scoring for the Lady Black Diamonds. The Muldrow girls were able to get 2 players in double figures. Collins finished with 19 points, 15 for Hannah Boyett, 9 points from Cameron Johnson, 8 points from Passage. We had 2 points each from Reeves and Mays, and a free throw from and a free throw from McCloria, and that's all the scoring on the night. So 58-41, the Lady Bulldogs just keep on the right path as we head into the last few games of the regular season, getting ready to gear up for postseason play.
They may be on the right path, but they've got a lot of trouble. They need to work on some issues: turnovers, bad passes, some silly calls down low, some bad shots. It's just the defensive side. They're doing okay on the defensive side, but they've got to get the gap closed on these people standing on the three-point line open all the time. And I'll be honest with you, we saw Stillwell 1 week. It just hit threes all over Muldrow. The only reason why we didn't see Roland after that is because those Roland girls were off that night. There's no other excuse to throw out there about that. But if they hadn't been, Roland was open. They took so many shots from the three-point line. They could have put points all over Muldrow that night because they didn't close that gap. Then we saw Spyro come into town. Spyro wasn't really on top of their game. We actually went to Spyro for that. And Muldrow came out with a pretty handy lead. But then we come back down here to Sallisaw. They're leaving BMO open. You know, if this would have been a number 2 or number 3 team in the state, this wouldn't have turned out very pretty. And we've got to close that gap and stop leaving people open on the three-point line.
Another thing that the Lady Bulldogs have got to do, Clint, is they've got to get away from these slow starts. These slow starts have hurt them in several of the games recently. It really hurt them against Stillwell in that loss. But they were able to pick up the pace, pull out the win. Good victory. And so now we'll go on to boys action and see if the Bulldogs can pull off a win against the Black Diamonds here in the nightcap.
Yeah, and they're going to have to come out doing like the Lady Bulldogs should be doing. They got to come out banging, hitting on all cylinders, and we'll see that here shortly. We've got about 10 minutes left until the boys tip off. We're going to take another break. We're going to play some commercial spots, maybe hear a little bit of music, and we'll be right back on TodayInFortSmith.com. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by TodayInFortSmith.com.